Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Mr. here. Today I am back with a brand new deck profile. This is Garmore Premium deck profile. It's a deck that has taken me very long and very excruciating to build. I know it wasn't that hard in terms of financial resources because I actually own every piece of Garmore support out there. So it wasn't that hard for me in terms of building. It was really more of the choice that made this extremely hard. And this is not a problem just faced by me. This is a problem faced by most of the community because correct me if I'm wrong, I do not believe there is an actual functional deck profile for Garmore that's actually been put out to the internet. Many people have theorized about, oh, just play Garmore, just play a V deck with strides, or that kind of thing. How you convert like Ezel into Ezel Premium, you literally just swap like 10 cards and you call it a day. But no, this deck was a lot more intricate, and for those of you who remember, back in GPT 13, yes, I have a deck profile on Garmore Excel, and you all know how hard it was to build that. And even though I had fulfilled the conditions for Liberator and as well as High Beast, it wasn't a solid win condition, and many of the times I actually lost, and that's something I'm willing to admit. The deck wasn't as 100% strong as I theorized. It only had something about, if I remember at most, 40% of a win rate, which is quite disgusting if you ask me, and it is a failure on my part. So when I was building this deck for premium, I had to ensure that this time I gave Garmore a shot. This time it has to do better. So it was really hard for me to draw a balance between Liberator, High Beast, and as well as successful cards. And so this has led me to this deck. I hope you enjoyed this video. Firstly, we play 4 of the brand new Garmore. I know that Garmore has really lost its place from standard completely. At this point, Gold Paladins just Ezel the clan, and we've already been confirmed to have a third Ezel VR on the way. So there's no point, there's no point beating a dead horse. Let's just move Garmore to premium, where he can hopefully be better. All of you know his skill by now. I have an entire video on it. But the skill is, if you have 1 or less cards in the hand, he automatically draws all attacks to himself, so haha, suicide. And then the second ability is Counterblast 1. When placed, call look at the top 3 cards from among them, call 1 to the rear guard, choose 6 of your rear guards, and then they'll automatically gain +3. So the bigger the board, the better for Garmore. But Garmore, in this deck, usually his problem was he just built a field, then he just sat down. In this deck, however, there are many more ways, because it's a premium deck, you can do much more things with it. For example, you could stride after that and enable your board to gain more power. Use the Garmore Stride, this one, to go for even higher amounts of power after you stack. So that's good and all, but Garmore is still good for early game, but he really just stays as that, especially in premium where the games can drag on. So he is a good first ride or second ride. He is just a good ride, but make sure when you use him, try and stride on that turn, because the turn can get pretty underwhelming if you just camp at Garmore. As mentioned, this deck does have a dash of Liberators. Hence, we are playing 4 copies of Garmore Excel and 2 Wolfang Liberator Garmore. Really nice reprint. Told you I had all the support. But we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about this one. This camera. I hate new cameras. The skill of Garmore is whenever your Liberator or Garmore card strides, you can Counterblast 1. And then after that, look at the top 3, call 2 Liberators from among them, and then put the rest at the bottom of the deck. Now, in terms of Liberator or Garmore, there are Liberator and Garmore strides. However, I do not really play the Liberator strides, because honestly, the Liberator strides, there is only 2. Saram Gritter as well as the Holy Flame, both of which are extremely underwhelming in my opinion. So Liberator strides, we are keeping off that completely. It's a no-no for me in this deck. The Garmore strides, yes, I am playing Garmore strides for obvious reasons. This is a Garmore deck. However, most of the time, I could use him, but then again, he's only a side boss, because there are generic strides in his deck, such as Scourge Point, I think that was his name. Whatever this guy's name is, he's our finisher. And this guy, Spear X Dragon, which we will get to that in a bit. But those are generic strides which do not interact with Garmore Strider cost. But the second ability is still pretty neat. At the end of your turn, put 2 Liberators from your field to the bottom of your deck and draw a card. Now this is especially good for recycling your Liberators. Liberators, we are focusing on that first. And I'll get to that in just a second on why Liberators importantly need to recycle. Oopsie, sorry, hit your cameras. The Liberators in this deck, really there are not a lot, so you have to ensure that even when you call it, you can recycle it back to the bottom of your deck so that they can be used later on. However, do be careful when you're stacking your deck. If you stack too many of the Liberators to the bottom of your deck, my biggest fear is before you deck out, you're going to get 0 damage triggers to help you at all. So do be careful with that. That is a very real possibility if you overuse it. But then again, he is only a side boss, so you don't have to use him 100% of the time. 2 Wolfang Liberator Garmore. He's used for consistency issues. We are playing 10 Great Trees in this deck because of the fact that we need and we want to be able to consistently stride in this deck. Striding is one of the only things that can help Garmore really bridge the gap. And to be able to consistently stride, i.e. to be able to constantly reach this guy, it's really effective to reach high amounts of power and constant beating. Besides that, you won't really use his Limit Break 4 skill unless you are insanely desperate for a board. But what I'm really more concerned about is his other skill. When he attacks, choose a Liberator, put it at the bottom of your deck, and he gets 4k. Then again, this is non-GB restricted, unlike Garmore XL, who needs to interact with G cards as well as a Generation Break ability, whereas Wolfang Liberator Garmore can still be used as a first turn ride. So if let's say you really don't have any more of the V Garmore, he is always a good enough substitute. Of course, you can straight away go into Garmore XL, but I'm just saying, if you really don't have anything left, you can use him. Great tools, we have Direct Gull. Direct Gull is a V card. His skill is Count Blast 1. When your Vanguard is placed, call 2 cards from hand, call up to 2 cards from hand. If you call 2, draw a card. I don't have to mention that if you only call 1, then you don't draw the card and your Count Blast is pretty much useless. But there's a reason why this card is phrased that way. This card can interact with not just riding, but striding as well, because it's when your Vanguard is placed. As a result, and I think the main interactions for this guy, so that when Garmore's placed, you can build a board with him, and all of them will fall under his skill of when he's placed, the board gets 3k. I'm pretty sure that is the interaction that they're trying to pull over, and I'm happy to say that this is a strong interaction for the early game. The draw card is definitely a nice, it's a little bit of a resource that I'm happy for, and it's a high beast, so why not? Other than that, that card's really just used to build board from field. Build board from hand. This is the card that builds board from the deck. Count Blast 1, Soul Blast 1, Generation Break 1. When called by the effect of your Liberator, which means when called by the effect of, say, a very specific Liberator, you can look at the top 3 cards from among them, call 2 Liberators, and then after that, shuffle your deck. Really, the only reason why this card is used is just to help Garmore build bigger fields. And at the end of the turn, you want to recycle this. You do not want to be keeping this card around. And for good reason. His ability only triggers from the deck. So if you're thinking, oh, if I call him from hand or any other superior call, it's not going to work. So I strongly recommend that whenever you use him, it's a good board filler, but you're going to have to recycle him no matter what. And he's a high beast. So yay. Here's our only non-high beast grade 2. The one, the only, Blaster Blade Liberator. Come on, this was a Liberator deck, and this is my channel. This is expected. But not just because of sentimental values or hype that I play Blaster Blade. Of course, Blaster Blade's skill, we don't have to mention it. It's rarely or if not never going to be used. But the main reason why Blaster Blade is still being kept in this deck is because of his interaction with Balan. And I will be getting to Balan in just a bit, or if not right now. So, Blaster Blade Liberator is meant to be used in conjunction with this card, White Rainbow Liberator Balan, who comes from a very, very, very old set that I will not be talking about. His skill is, when your Blaster Blade Liberator is placed, if your Vanguard is a Liberator, you can countercharge 1. It is strong because if your Vanguard is Liberator, of course, if you're just a regular Garmore, this won't trigger, but for the times that you happen to be in your Garmore XL, this is definitely worth it. This is definitely a card you want to run because you can countercharge as soon as Blaster Blade is placed. With further interactions regarding Garmore Excel, Garmore Excel can then shuffle the Blaster Blade back to the deck, and then when you call it again, this triggers a new countercharge, which will reset Excel's cost back to 0, and you get it. It's a free board. Also, I think another reason why is because both are liberators, so that's good. And at the same time, if you really have to destroy an irritating target, like your opponent's fancy Blaster Blade V, kill it. Don't let him use his new Ganslot Stride funny tactics of making rearguard Vanguard circles. Just kill it. He's no way of reviving it unless he plays a Monarch or New Style Blaster Blade. When it comes to high priority targets, then it is permitted for your use of Blaster Blade Liberator. If not really, there's not really a much use for a skill. Other than that, nice sparkly card at the end. Moving on to the great ones, and I've mentioned Balan. So the next one is a card from V, Din Drain. And no, for everybody who's about to ask, this is not a high beast. This is a human. Alright? When superior called, Soul Blast 1, draw a card, or countercharge and gain 3. So, useful toolbox that will be consistent in almost all Gold Paladin decks, I believe. High 10k shield value, and for the countercharge, which we need. I hate to disappoint you, but there are even more non-high beasts, just like Gobrok. I think that's his name. We can't use his first skill to search for Gurgit, oh no. But his second skill is a stride fodder, and we need to stride. So yeah. The only high beast great one in this deck is Bot and Ducelan. I think I'm pronouncing this name wrong. Generation break 1 once per turn. When your Liberator is placed by anything, superior call or call, double his attack power by 7k. So it's a 14k booster as long as you place literally anything that is a Liberator. So I don't see why not. I say he's pretty good. As for grade zeros, we run a fusion of V and Liberator triggers. And I have to explain each of my choice, so here we go. We play Tangle? Yeah, I think his name's Tangle. He's a high beast, that's good. He's front, that's good. High shield value, that's good. He's in the deck. For Mark, because we can't play Halo Liberator Mark, and also because of the very simple reason that the high beast PG is insanely weird. Like the Eagle from GBT 13, I have absolutely no reason to play that card. After playtesting over and over and over again, I simply believe that Mark is truly stronger than that card for all terms of value. And Mark is a V trigger, Mark has draw. So Mark makes the card. Good Mark. Terms for our Liberator triggers, we have Catch Gull Liberator at 4. It's a stand trigger, surprise! It's not dead in this format. When placed, shuffle it back to the deck. Look at the top 3. Call anything from the top 3 except Catch Gull, and shuffle the deck again. This is used for the time when you really whiz off, and like for example, you want to use a superior call skill. Literally anything, because Catch Gull is not bound by a Liberator effect. You can just use it in any deck as long as you whiz off. If you smoke off it, you can't call anything, but you have Catch Gull. Just place it, shuffle it back. Repeat the effect. He is good, especially if you use cards that can gain power for every time you call, but that's really just a side interaction. The main interaction is because he's a high beast, he's a stand trigger, which is something people will be shocked by. He has low shield value, but it's really just his skill that makes him so valuable to this deck, and he's a Liberator, so the perfect package. We play 4 Liberator Shaggy Rabbit. Now I know a lot of you will be asking, and as I have asked on Reddit, people have suggested, play 2 of the Shaggy Rabbit and 2 of the V triggers. Let the Elixir Humiliate. Yes and no. Yes, it is good for shield value, but then again, if you think about it, what's there for shield? You're still G-guarding. Secondly, yes, good for the trigger value. That's the only thing I'll top you with. But then there's the consistency issue. Shaggy Rabbit needs to be the second and/or the 4th heal trigger that you're playing to summon G-guards. And he can either soul charge or counter charge for you. Either effect is extremely good. Since there is no way to reshuffle the heal triggers, you might as well just bind them and get a free effect. Now, about the part that I was discussing, why not 2V and 2 of this? Well, very simple. If you happen to use Shaggy Rabbit first and then the V trigger and the Shaggy Rabbit cannot trigger anything, you don't get a counter charge. you lose the value. You might as well just play 4. But the thing is, high beast is one thing. Secondly, is because this deck needs ways to counter charge and soul charge. Because we don't have a lot of soul charging here. There is not a lot of soul charging in this deck, to be honest. But for the times that we need to, or for the times we need to counter charge, especially counter charge, Shaggy Rabbit. So, yeah, that was my pick. We play Flame True Liberator, Holy Flame. It's a very good Liberator strike. It's a GR and its ability is Psych. No, we don't play Holy Flame. Holy Flame sucks. Holy Flame is the flip target for our 3 Spear Extract. Of course, if you want to use Holy Flame, there is still two and more copies of it. So you can still feel free to play it. But come on, this is way better. Counterblast 2 from your hand, Unite, ride it. Discard a card and ride it. I'm very sure you can see that Garmore has plenty of ways to build a board. Even after the strike phase, you can still build the board and boom, CB2, this fella pops out to the field. So yeah, he's a pseudo strike. Even if you can't strike per se, if you don't meet the requirements to strike, you can just pay the cost. This card literally anything. Boom. Spirex. Spirex's second skill, which is the more common skill. Soul Blast 1, flip a card in the G zone. Look at the top 5, call 2, shuffle the deck. Extremely generic, yet extremely strong, because he will play well, he will deliver for any grade 3 you're on, Liberator or not. Of course, if you are Garmore Excel, you would say, "Aw, because it's not Liberator Strike," because then you can't trigger his skill. But really, then you still can use Garmore's second skill of, putting 2 back into the deck at the end of the turn and to draw a card. This second ability will always trigger. However, this is still a better generic strike in terms of consistency, and that is why I would still pick Spirex any day. He's also much better first strike. So, yeah, we have him covered. In future, I will not do anything like the Psych Tactics instead, in case people are actually watching that part, but no, that was just a troll. For Garmore, he's the main beater of this deck, and the card you need to consistently strike into, I cannot stress it enough. If you are not confident on finishing him with this guy, then just go straight to Garmore. Just float, don't bother, because Garmore is the ultimate float card. He will tide you through an entire turn, give you relatively good plays, and hey, why not? His main skill, the GB2 skill, is absolutely for free. I'm kidding. You have to choose a card from your drop zone and put it to the bottom of your deck. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a skill. I'm going to have to Google that. I actually forgot this skill. I will read you the second skill first though. CB1, SB1. And you can call a card. CB1, SB1. You can look at a card from the top 3. Call a card to rearguard and shuffle the deck. As long as you have a hard card of Garmore. But then again, there's no such thing as you won't have a hard card of Garmore. So, Garmore strike. I'm so sorry. I have to actually check this. Alright, his second skill, yep, choose a card from the bottom of your drop. Choose a card from your drop zone and put it to the bottom of your deck. So you can recycle your heal triggers if you want. You can recycle literally anything if you want. But why? But why? Honestly, just recycle Mark. Mark is the best. Just recycle him instead. But then again, yeah, if you put him bottom of the deck, you shuffle the deck, Mark goes back into the deck. So yeah, honestly, I would still target Mark over the heal trigger. Reveal the top 6. For every high beast that you reveal, choose one of your units to give it 4k. If 4 or more are revealed, Garmore gets a free crit. This skill is not even bad. Like, yeah, it's RNG reliant, but even if you whiz off into 1 or 2 high beasts, you still just recycle the whole card, and you just give free power. It has literally no drawbacks whatsoever, and if you pull off 4 or more, a free crit. That's insane. Of course, there are times where this doesn't happen, but then again, with the amount of recycling you can do, I know high beasts aren't a lot, but if you think about it, most of the high beasts are concentrated among triggers and a bunch of grade 2s. If you recycle those cards efficiently enough, which you will, because when you call cards from the top of your deck, you're not going to be calling the triggers, or And so the triggers can be used when counting for the top 6. After you count the top 6, you need to shuffle the deck. So that really solves the whole mark at the bottom of the deck problem. And this card is also a Royal and Gold Paladin. So yay for any of you who are considering actually building Garmore and Royal Paladin. If so, please comment in the comment section below so we can laugh at you, because it's not going to work. Slimy Flare 2 and Rhea, I believe her name is 2. Rhea is if 2 more rear guard, shield +5. Slimy Flare is the more important one though. Slimy Flare, choose one of your units, put it at the bottom of your deck. Again, look at the top 5 cards, call 2 from among them, and that's it. So you choose Unite on the opponent's turn. That's one thing that's really neat. Just pointing that out. The second thing is obviously free shield. He shuffles 1 card from your field back to the deck, so you can recycle more cards, and then he just calls 2 to really help you out if you need higher defensive value. So yeah, why not? Just gonna briefly mention your starter's Kriff, just for the draw. I hate Kriff. I want the new Gold Paladin starter. Your imaginary gifts can literally be Excel 1 or Excel 2. It really depends on what you are planning to do against your opponent, or what the opponent is. If you need fast boards now, it's going to be Excel 2. If you're looking to drag him on for the late game and beat him with higher value, it's going to be Excel 1. Really, this is not like, say, standard Gold Paladin or standard Narukami, which I would insist that you play Excel 2. It's really more free and easy here. Last card of the deck, this guy. Counterblast 1, flip a copy of himself. Return 2 cards from your deck to the bottom of the return 2 cards from the field to the bottom of your deck, and it's Unite, so you have to call 2 cards before activating his skill. Alright, look at the top 7. For every G card you have face up, call it, and then after that, counter charge 1, soul charge 1 at the end of your turn if 3 or more cards were called, which it should have been, because please tell me you weren't hoping to use this as a first strike. You can't. Of course, the counter charge means he offsets his own counter blast, which is neat. Soul charge, a little bit neat, that's okay. Really, he's used for the multi attack. And the multi attack for one aspect, mainly this is where Excel 1 comes into play. You want to be able to have Excel 1 circles and then get this big guy to pull off the attack. So you can have as many G cards as you have faced up, and boom, instant field. Even if, let's say, you've been nuked over and over and over again by stuff like Blade Master, literally anything that targets a board, and you are weak on board, or if not no board, just throw your last 2 cards from hand, trigger this guy's skill, and you have an instant win. That's why this guy's a finisher, because if you've been consistently striding, which you should have been throughout the game, he will tide you over the match. Of course, if you have Excel 2 in terms of numbers, it will be slightly harder, I am not going to lie. But then again, extra circles, and extra attacks, that fact doesn't change. Whatever it is, he is still a good strike. And you can save him to the last. So yeah, that really wraps up my Garmore deck profile. I'm really impressed and very proud of this deck. This deck has taken me forever to build. But then again, there's no point in me being proud of it if y'all don't like it. What do y'all think of this deck? Did this deck live up to expectations? Or if not, did it live up to what could be a possible good deck expectations? Really, this is the first premium deck for Garmore with the V Garmore that I've seen on the internet and / built myself. The rest have all been theory crafts, or just why not just add this or that. Other than that, no actual concrete list has ever been published onto the internet, and I hope that y'all really appreciate my deck, especially because I've been doing Gold Paladin decks since literally forever, and so it would be nice if I could try out and see what y'all think of it. This deck has taken me a very long period of time to theory craft, test it over and over again. Testing it, I tested it against other people as well as my own decks, like my Alfred Tana Abuse deck and my Night Rose deck, both of which will be getting profiles in the future, I can assure you. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, tell your friends, hey, this dude invented Garmore Premium. I don't know. Just, if you want to subscribe, even better, but I won't be uploading as much. I mean, I have not been, and I will not be, because school's back, it's tough, it's hard. Whatever time I get to crank out videos, I will be. rest assured. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time.